her homework. But then, boom! She lunges at Koro-sensei with a knife, followed by a swift kick. But guess what? She can't even touch him. Instead, Sensei spins her around until she's so dizzy she Sensei. And don't forget the English students jump in for their shot at Sensei, and that sniper, he's back at it, taking aim. But when he looks through the scope, poof, Sensei's not there. Suddenly, Sensei's right in front of him, turning his rifle into a club, and get this, dressing him up in a performance costume. Several female students were kidnapped by some nefarious students, but just as these villains were about to act, 2 male students of Koro-sensei rushed in, averting the impending tragedy. Despite being outnumbered, the duo managed to take down all the assailants. In a desperate move, one of the attackers held a knife to a girl's neck, threatening the heroes to back down, while his accomplice launched a surprise attack, quickly overpowering the 2 students. But just when the villains thought they could proceed with their wicked deeds, a mysterious creature appeared. It was Koro-sensei. With multiple tentacles, he engaged in a skirmish with the villains, eventually capturing all the wrongdoers and successfully rescuing the female students. On another day, one of the girls was airing out a blanket, asking Koro-sensei for assistance. Suddenly, she sprouted 2 tentacles and, with a swift pull of the blanket, trapped Koro-sensei in the hallway. His tentacles, upon touching the blanket, were harmed. Approaching the trapped teacher, the girl then launched an attack on Koro-sensei with her 2 new appendages. The girl extended to dreaded adversary, abruptly halted her, acknowledging her refused to believe he was the culprit, persisted in her attack, appeared on the brink of being incinerated alive. Nagisa suddenly embraced the girl from behind, attempting to transform her as the reaper, only to be delivered to an illicit research organization and subjected to their experiments due to his unique combination of physical and intellectual prowess. Success in these experiments meant turning him into a weapon of murder. Abby, tasked with monitoring him, watched as Koro-sensei, with his assassin's knowledge, gradually gained control over the laboratory amidst the unfolding experiments. Was Koro-sensei always like this? Nope. Flashback to a time when he looked human before being snatched away for some crazy experiments. Then, bam, the scientists realize he's on the brink of gaining superhuman smarts and strength. So what do? They beef up security like there's no tomorrow. Cut to Koro-sensei and Abby, who are practically inseparable, turning into the best of buds. And get this, through a pane of glass, Koro-sensei reaches out with these ultra-fine tentacles, forming a hand to touch Abby's face. It's like something out of a sci-fi romance. They're falling for each other, hard. But then, plot twist. The lab guys figure out Koro-sensei is about to unlock this world-ending power. Immediate action is required, or so they think. Abby overhears their doom and gloom chat, races to spill the beans to Koro-sensei, who's not having any of it. In his next evolutionary leap, he's like, humanity's gonna pay. And just like that, he smashes through the reinforced glass and obliterates the door with his tentacles. Talk about making an exit. A researcher lands a punch on Abby, and seeing his beloved struck, Koro-sensei goes into a frenzy, unstoppable, invulnerable. But then, out of nowhere, Abby's there, embracing him from behind, seriously wounded, beyond even Koro-sensei's remarkable healing abilities. Her dying wish? For Koro-sensei to take over her role, guiding the underachieving students of Class 3E, those dismissed by society, yet in desperate need of exceptional teaching. At that moment, Abby's sister enters the lab, witnessing this scene, mistakenly believing Koro-sensei to be her sister's killer. Diving into the research, she learns about a serum capable of grafting tentacles to humans, offering immense power but at great risk. Driven by vengeance, she uses it on herself, setting her sights on Class 3E for her misguided revenge. Now, with the learns about a serum capable of grafting tentacles to humans, offering immense power but at great risk. Driven by vengeance, she uses it on herself, setting her sights on Class 3E for her misguided revenge. Now, with the truth laid bare, the real danger is just beginning to unfold. This man starts injecting himself with the serum, one shot after another, until his body begins to morph, ultimately transforming into a monstrous creature. Under its relentless assault, Koro-sensei's head is severely damaged, losing half its mass and his ability to retaliate before being hurled out of the classroom. The monster then smashes through the wall, launching a furious attack on Koro-sensei, its tentacles piercing him relentlessly. Overwhelmed and beaten to the ground, Koro-sensei finds himself powerless to fight back. Yet he rises once more, driven by the imperative to protect his students. The onslaught continues, leaving Koro-sensei's body battered and broken. At that moment, a girl rushes out, positioning herself in front of him, only to be swiftly knocked away by the creature. Cradling the gravelly injured girl, Koro-sensei is reminded of his beloved Abby, fueling his fury. Slowly, he stands, his tentacles miraculously regenerating. He turns around, his face darkening ominously, his eyes ablaze with rage. Koro-sensei's visage turns a fearsome black, his eyes seething with rage. In that moment, a brilliant golden glow emanates from his chest. With a ferocious roar, he unleashes a direct blast, vanquishing the monster. He carries the girl back to the classroom, expending his last reserves of energy to heal her. As the girl comes to, Koro-sensei collapses, exhausted, his students gathering around him. He shares with them that this year has truly brought him joy, proclaiming that they are no longer the worst class but are indeed exceptional, congratulating them on their graduation. With those final words, his body transforms into countless stars, illuminating the entire classroom. This marks Koro-sensei's true departure from their lives, but his words remain etched in their memories. Soon after, Nagisa takes up the mantle of teacher for Class 3E, determined to guide his students and fulfill Koro-sensei's expectations. Do you have such inspiring teachers in your life? And what's the most profound thing a teacher